Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Card Talk, a podcast where we spend a little bit of time talking about cards from Lord of the Rings, the card game. I'm your host, Dave Walsh.
And I'm Grant Thompson, just along for the ride.
Grant, it sounds like your throat's getting a little bit better.
It is indeed, my friend.
That's good.
It's just taken about 4 weeks.
Yeah, right? You've been sick for a long time. So today we're not bringing you a card, but we're bringing you a playthrough. Part of SILVAN February is that Grant and I wanted to play some two-player playthrough to show people how the SILVAN deck works with another deck, another player, to see if it's two-player viable. Grant, the first time we played, or in the other playthrough, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to release, how the order is going to release, we played Across the Enten Moors, which was like a 2-hour slog with a whole bunch of big bad enemies and stuff like that. Grant and I decided that we were going to play Lost in Mirkwood to show a couple of things. One of the playthroughs that I'm playing is Lost in Mirkwood solo, so that you can see how the game works solo. And then here we're playing Lost in Mirkwood 2-player, so that you can see kind of the difference between 1 and 2-player, and frankly, so I can see some of the differences in 1 and 2-player. I play primarily solo, so this will be good, and I play primarily with live cards. But Lost in Mirkwood is a neat mechanic, and it's actually my favorite in the cycle so far. It's one of the newest releases. It's from the Ered Mithrin Cycle. It's out of the deluxe box. It's rated at a difficulty of 5, but we all know those are kind of arbitrary. And so the idea is that we are in Mirkwood, and as the title suggests, we're lost and we need to find our way out. And so what we need to do is find objective locations. And as those objective locations get traveled to, we get to make progress through the quest. So the quest isn't won by questing heavy. It's won by exploring locations and finding locations, just as if you were lost someplace, you want to get to a particular spot. The mechanic that Caleb and his team came up with here for this Lost in Mirkwood thing is amazing. And the other thing is this uses cards from the core set box. So I think that part of it is Passage Through Mirkwood is one of them, and so we're going to see some old bad guys here that we're going to deal with. So as I read the first quest card here, it says set the spiders of Mirkwood and Dol Guldur encounter sets aside and out of play. The first player takes control of Haldan, so we have Haldan here. Okay, and then it says add searching for a way out to the staging area, and then each player adds 1 copy of Forest Spider to the staging area. So Grant, why don't you get rid of 2 of the Forest Spiders and put those back into the encounter deck. And then we have searching for a way out. It says each objective location and each card guarding one is immune to player card effects. So you can't Asphalloth any of these objective locations while they're being guarded. And it says force when progress would be placed on the main quest. We're replacing progress with discarding cards to look for objective locations. And then you put, as soon as you discard, let's say you make 5 on the main quest, you don't put 5 progress tokens, you discard 5 cards. And then you take the topmost objective location that's in the discard pile and put it in the staging area and put a guarded card on it. And so it makes it for an interesting quest mechanic, and I really like the feel of the quest. This quest really makes me feel like I'm lost and looking for a way out in Mirkwood. So I'm playing the Slippery Sylvan deck, and I already have my hand here set up, and I'm going to keep it. I have Nenya and Steward of Gondor and things like that. I think Grant and I have Legolas together in the same hand, or not in the same hand, but in the same deck, but we'll race to see who can get that out first. Remember, there's only 1 copy of unique cards that can be put in play at a time.
Right, and just a quick clarification on what David said. Each objective location and each card guarding an objective location is immune to player card effects. So that is even after you've defeated the guard, the objective location is still immune.
Right. That's right. And so Grant, in his hand, he's got Legolas, so we're going to compete for that. And then he's got, I think he uses Skull Splitter as a proxy for the Warrior Sword.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, and then he's got a Hogberg of Mail and a Giant Bear and the Bjorning Skin Changer and Sneak Attack, so he's got some good cards in his hand. So, Grant, are you going to keep that, or are you going to mulligan?
I'm going to keep this. This was my actual mulligan hand.
Okay.
I mulliganed for this hand.
Right. Mulligans don't really make for good podcasting, so we'll. I mulliganed once as well to get Nenya. I don't think Nenya matters too much for the particular quest, except you can control how much you're questing for, and I think that may come into play. Okay, so the other thing that's neat is we have 2 encounter sets set aside, ready to be shuffled into the deck based on quest card effects. So it's going to be Grant has never played this, I don't think. Grant, you've never played this quest, right?
I have not.
Okay, and I've played it a few times because I just think that this is well, the whole cycle is amazing for me, but this particular quest I really enjoy the locations and questing through the locations without it being too much of a like a what is it, Hills of Emyn sort of,
yeah.
You know, it's different, so it feels different and it's good. So should we get started here?
Yep, I've just flipped over to 1B.
Okay, and then 1B says each player's threat cannot be reduced. So I can't, and this is where it gets to be a little, what do I want to say? Gets to be a little wonky, is because we can't reduce our threat, but, you know, Galadriel can still cause me to draw a card. And so we have to get through this relatively quickly, because I think that every time we engage an enemy, and there's enough enemies in here that we're also going to be increasing our threat. So we want to make sure we get through this fairly quickly. So, okay. So you ready to get started?
I am.
Okay. So Control N. If I can, I don't know. Okay. Control N. Okay. So we get our things. And so there's no penalty here, except we can't raise our threat. Okay. Or sorry, we can't lower our threat. So, and I love that thematically, you know, where you're stuck, not stuck, but you're lost in Mirkwood. So every time an enemy engages you, you're kind of even more stuck, and your threat goes up, and you're more likely to stay lost in Mirkwood than you would normally. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's a great mechanic. So I'm going to put Steward of Gondor on Thranduil, and then I'm going to exhaust Steward of Gondor, and then he gets 2, and then this guy gets none, and then I'm going to right-click here, and I'm going to additional resource tokens per round is 2. Okay, and then I don't have anything that I want to do this second, but I will probably during my attack phase, or the combat phase. What do you got, Grant? What did you do?
I played out my Hogberg of Mail, which is a 1-cost leadership attachment, which is attached to a dealer warrior character, limit 1 per character. Attached character gets +1 defense, and if it has the Sentinel keyword, it gets +1 hit point. Okay. So that went straight onto Grimbeorn.
Right, Grimbeorn is now even more of a beast than he was. So
now I'm just debating on whether or not I should play me Bjorning Skin Changer, or if I should wait and then just. I think I'm going to wait for what I'm going to do next. So,
okay.
Quest.
Yep. So let's quest. So I'm going to quest with Celeborn, and I think I'm going to quest with Haldan early on here. So you're gonna, yeah. Okay. So that means that I have 3, 5 committed to the quest.
And I have 3 committed, so that's a total of 8.
8. Okay. So reveal. And don't forget we can use Galadriel's.
Card number 1 is
Mirkwood Patrol.
Mirkwood Patrol, which is a 4-threat
Yeah, it's horrible.
enemy.
Yeah, okay, so we're at 8 so far in the staging area, and what's the next one? And then it's East Bite. So I am going to use Nenya in Galadriel
to make 1 progress.
So we make 1 progress on the main quest. And so what we do is we discard a card and hopefully we get... Nope. So since we can't put an objective location into play, that just goes discarded. Okay.
Engagements.
Okay, so engagements, we're going to have to take... Let's leave the patrol in there. And then I do have a Feign Voices if we need it.
Well, the way it's going to work out is one of us going to get 2 enemies.
Well, I can take 2 enemies.
Okay.
So I'm
letting things resolve naturally. It would work out like this.
Right.
And we each raise our threat by the number of enemies engaged with us.
Right. So I'm going to engage by 2. I'm going to raise by 2. And I won't be able to kill those enemies, but that's okay. So I'm going to defend the East Bite Patrol.
Because I quested successfully, I would have dropped in my Skin Changer.
Right. Okay, so the Bjorning Skin Changer, that helps with Hirgon's ability, right? You get to drop him in. Okay, so with Thranduil, I'm going to defend the East Bite Patrol. Flip the Shadow card. The Patrol, not the...
I don't know what that one is.
No shadow effect. And now with Thranduil's ability, I'm going to bring in the Greenwood Archer, and that readies Thranduil. And then I'm going to block the Forest Spider, and there's no shadow effect. So no damage at all.
Right, okay, well, what I'm going to do is, as a combat action, I'm going to discard my Bjorning Skin Changer.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull in my Giant Bear.
You giant bear. Get him.
Because the Bjorning Skin Changer has a combat action, choose a Bjorning ally with a printed cost of 3 or more in your hand or discard pile. Discard Bjorning Skin Changer and put that ally into play. Well, if you look at the Giant Bear, he has the Bjorning trait.
It's amazing.
So it's like getting a Bjorn out on turn 1.
Right.
For this, I will defend with my Grim Bjorn the Old, and I will trigger his effect. So I'll spend that 1, but no shadow effect. 3 against 4, no damage, and then I do 3 direct damage straight to the bear. Straight to the spider.
Straight to the spider. Okay. And then I am going to do 3 damage to the East Bite Patrol and get rid of that using the Greenwood Archer. Okay.
And then I will attack with the Giant Bear to
kill off the Forest Spider.
Now I've got a quick question for you.
Sure.
Do you want me to drop in Gandalf to kill off your spider?
I don't think we have to right now. Plus, if you wanted to, we could. I think we just got unfortunate that we had two more enemies here. I don't think that this is an enemy-rich encounter deck.
Okay.
But we can zap him anytime we want, right?
Yeah.
Oh, because you have a sneak attack in your hand. Is that what you're saying?
I do.
Okay.
Yes,
well, so we can use that whenever if we need to.
I was just asking if you wanted to clear your side of the board.
Nah. That spider's not making me nervous at all. Okay. So you get Haldan.
Right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put Haldan
Put him in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. So that way.
Right. We know that he's just part of our team here.
Yeah. And I am doing absolutely nothing for planning.
You're not doing anything for planning, huh?
Nope.
Okay.
I've got nothing to do.
Well, I'm going to bring in the Weaver for 1. I don't have any cards in my discard pile, but I still want the enemy or the ally to be able to quest. So, achoo! God bless you. Okay, so let's. Should we quest now?
Yeah, let's quest.
Okay, so
3.
Okay, and then I'll quest for 3, 5. This doesn't exhaust a quest, but he would quest. She quests. Galadriel's ability keeps her upright. You know, you're playing this Bjorning deck. We should have Bjorn on the show sometime.
Yeah.
He's that's a little teaser. I think Bjorn from hallofbjorn.com is coming on the show sometime very, very soon, and so we're excited. And believe it or not, I think he's going to be talking about Hero Bjorn, so all sorts of good stuff going on. Anyways, let's get through this. Let's try to beat this first stage here. So I'm questing for 5. You're questing for 3?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to quest with the giant bear?
He's got no willpower. He's there for swatting, not questing.
Really? Okay. Anyways.
So card number 1 is a guarded location.
Okay, so that's
an enemy. So got to discard until we get an enemy.
Okay. There's the one right there. So it's going to be guarded by a Mirkwood patrol. Okay.
And then card number 2 is another forest spider.
Okay, so we have 10 in the staging area, and I did 5 and you did 3, so that's 8.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna exhaust Nenya and Galadriel to do 4 more. So we get 2 on the quest, so we discard 2 cards.
And if you want, I could do sneak attack Gandalf to get rid of the forest spider in the staging area for another 2, but I don't think that's necessary since we've already got this guarded location here.
Right. I think we'll figure it out here. The other thing is we can't use, because the that's an objective location, right? So the forest clearing. So because it's an objective, remember the Mirkwood patrol is immune to player card effects. So we can't use Gandalf on him. Just letting everybody know.
Let's turn that down, please, baby.
Do, 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 do.
I can't use Bjorn's ability on him either because
it's an ability, right? You have to choose an enemy. So, but that's okay. You have a bear worth a whole bunch, and I can also help with archery attacks and things like that. But
so we're just going to quest with Galadriel for the 2.
So we'll do 2. And so we discard 2 cards. 1, 2. And then the topmost objective, which would be that abandoned village, gets put into the staging area.
Which is also guarded.
Which is guarded by, what is it? Location. So the Twilight Hall. That's cool because that Twilight Hall reminds me of the scene in the book where the dwarves keep stumbling into all of those places.
Yeah.
And then they keep disappearing. Now the Twilight Hall is...
Yeah.
For what it's worth, the Twilight Hall is a ridiculous location.
Right, so are we going to travel to this Twilight Hall?
Well, we can't travel, I feel like, let's see. We can't travel if there are no resources on it. So what happens is when the Twilight Hall is really nasty because it gets +2 threat for every resource, and every time we explore a forest location, which is most of the locations in Mirkwood, it gets a resource. And so, but we can't do anything with it until we put resources on it. So we're stuck. So the only thing we can do is leave it there.
Okay,
and it's guarding one of our objectives, so that makes it wild. So
right, well, okay, so engagements.
I can probably take the forest spider.
Right, well, if you can take the spider, I'll take this patrol that's guarding this location.
Let me see here. I'm looking at faint voices. If you want, because you have Sentinel, right?
I do.
Oh, I can't use feigned voices on the Mirkwood patrol.
No, but what I was thinking is sneak attack and Gandalf
to defend it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
fine.
And then I've still got Bjorn in the bear to do 7. So if you can,
do you want to nuke one of the spiders while you do it? Because you can't lower your threat, and you can't do 4 damage to the Mirkwood patrol.
Well, I've just quested successfully, so that allows us to get out my copy of
Warrior of Dale, right? Okay, that's good.
Hang on. I could actually get out Legolas.
I have Legolas too.
If I pull out Legolas, that would give me enough to kill the Mirkwood patrol.
If I pull out Legolas, it'll give me enough to kill the Mirkwood patrol too. But that's okay. You can play Legolas.
No, it's fine. I'll stick with what I was originally planning, which was the Warrior of Dale. That needs a resource on Grimbeorn, which then can feed Force Warrior Sword next turn to go on my Warrior of Dale, which then gives them range to help deal with your enemies.
Right, and I have ranged over here, so we can help each other. Plus you have Bjorn, which is a sentinel, so that makes life good. So are you going to bring out Gandalf or not Gandalf?
Yeah, I'm going to bring out Gandalf because of the fact that I need him to defend this, and I don't want to take any unnecessary damage.
Right. Okay.
I'll spend the 1 for a sneak attack, dropping in Gandalf, and I'm going to end up...
We also have to raise our threat by 1 each because we each engaged an enemy.
Do you want me to nuke one of your forest spiders, or am I okay to draw some cards?
I don't care. Whichever. I don't need you to nuke a forest spider, so if you need to draw the cards, that's cool.
All right, I'll draw some cards because of the fact that without Legolas, I don't have access to cards.
Yeah. That's fine. Because I'm taking Legolas, right?
Yeah. Right, okay, so for defending, I will defend with Gandalf, who takes 1 point of damage. Okay, how are you defending?
Okay, so I'm going to defend the forest spider that just came out. So that one with Thranduil, no shadow effect. And then...
Feigned Voices, the other one. Pull your Weaver back.
I am going to play Feigned Voices. I'm going to pull my Weaver back. And that cancels the attack of the other one.
This one right here.
That one right there, yep.
Right, okay.
And now during my... It's still a combat phase, and I have an action window, so I'm going to play 4... For Legolas.
Right, okay. Now for combat, attacking back, I'm going to swing with Haldan.
Haldan's a beast, by the way. Just, I mean, as an aside, right?
Yeah. Giant Bear, there's 10.
How much do you need to do? 9, right?
I only need 9.
Right. Okay, so there you go.
So that kills the Mirkwood patrol, which gives the forest clearing up there.
Okay, and now for me, I think I'm going to kill just one of the forest spiders. It doesn't matter which. And then draw a card. And I get Galleon. So that's good. Okay. So that helped clear the board of state up a little bit. So now we move on to the next round. Control N. Okay. And so I have a quicker than sight in my hand, which allows me to cancel any shadow effect, just in case something happens.
Yeah. Gandalf returns to me hand at the end of the round, and now that's very interesting. What do I want to do?
You have 5. So what's in your hand? I mean, the Armored Destroyer is always good to be able to ready.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. It's a toss-up between Armored Destroyer or my Dunedain Mark. Which do I pull out?
Well, I don't know. You could also pull out Gandalf.
Yeah, I think I'll leave Gandalf for the time being as an emergency button if needed.
Right. Okay.
But what I am going to do is give the warrior sword to my warrior of Dale, who now gets an attack boost when I'm engaged with an enemy, and he also has range now.
Right. Oops, I can't bring out quicker than sight. I'm sorry. Okay, so I bring out Galleon, and then I'm going to bring out the Galadrim Weaver. The total cost of that is 1. The Weaver then allows me to take Feigned Voices, put Feigned Voices back in my hand, and then I shuffle up my deck. Okay, and now I do have a Mirkwood, sorry, a Sylvan Tracker and the Minstrel in my hand, so I think I'm going to pull out the Minstrel next turn. But let's quest.
Okay, I'm sending 3 and give the resource point to David.
I'll send 7. What about Haldan?
Well, he's under your control.
Right. While there's an active location, Haldan does not exhaust a quest. Okay. Let's leave Haldan up. He's a better attacker, and we have a couple enemies out there. Nah, let's quest with him. Quest with him.
Okay.
So that's 9 for me, including Haldan.
And that's 3 for me, so that's a
Still not questing with that giant bear, huh?
Definitely not. So, card number 1.
Oh, Ravenous Spider. Okay, so we don't have to engage that, but whatever. But after it engages you, it makes an immediate attack. That's always fun.
And then card number 2. Each player discards each resource from each of his heroes' resource pools and raises his.
So we discard resources and raise your threat by the number of resources that we.
Yeah, so I go up by 3.
So I go up by 4. Okay.
Okay, so we're up against 3, 4, 5, 9.
Okay,
So
9, and I did.
Progress.
I did 9.
So we make 3 progress.
So you discard 3 cards.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. None of those were objective locations.
Nope.
But there may be an objective location in the discard pile.
Right, okay, so do I have to check the discard pile?
Yes. So, because you put the topmost objective location in the discard pile into play.
Okay.
Now, all the objective locations, I think, have victory points. So, this is guarded enemy, so we have to pull out the guarded enemy. Discard cards until we get an enemy. There's an enemy. Oh, Black Forest Bats. And remove that character from the quest. That doesn't matter because we're beyond the quest phase, but that's okay. Right?
Yep.
Okay. See, you could have removed your giant bear from the quest and it'd be all fine. Okie doke.
Okay. So, Traveler, we're going to this first clearing.
Yeah, yes.
Raises his threat for X.
Where X is the cards.
Okay, so we travel there. We have to shuffle the encounter discard back into the encounter deck.
Right. And then each player discards. So who's player 1? I'm player 1. So discard a card from me and I'll raise my threat. So it's 1. Okay, but that's the Old Forest Road. That's a really good card.
I raise my threat by 3.
Okay. And now we go to, this is where it gets weird for new players. It says, after the players travel here, advance to the next stage C if able. So we've completed stage 1. So we we now go, because there's 2 quest cards with the number 2 on it. So we don't go to 2A or 2B, we go to 2C. So we have to go to 2C now.
And add the shuffle of Dumbledore Orcs.
Now is that 2C, just to make sure?
Yes, that is 2C.
Okay, so now you take Dumbledore Orcs and shuffle that into the encounter set. Then reveal 1 per player. See, this is why this made it. This is why I like it. It's like the questing mechanic is different, and I like.
That's shuffled into the encounter deck, yes?
Yes. So 2 says, when revealed, shuffle Dumbledore encounter set into the encounter deck.
Right, okay.
And then we have to reveal 1 encounter card per player. Oh, and we did explore. No, we didn't explore.
Each player removes a character he controls from the quest.
And discards the top card of the encounter deck.
It does nothing.
If the discarded card's printed threat is greater. Well, we still have to do the next. We still have to do the if.
But there's no characters committed to the quest. The quest is over.
Okay, so here's the thing. So this is where reading. It says, let's see if we can break this down and settle the argument. It says each player removes a character he controls from the quest and discards the top. So we have to do both.
Right, but what I'm getting at is because we're no longer in the quest phase, we no longer have characters to commit to the quest.
Right, but you're right. So we've removed. So we don't have to do the first part, but we still have to do the second part.
But it's saying you've got for that character removed from the quest, you then have to then take its will and compare it to the threat of the card discarded. But because there was no character removed from the quest, because there was no quest, then
you're saying that both conditions can't be met?
Exactly, because of the fact that
you're right. Okay. I'll play it that way.
If you want to put it up on the Facebook group and we can have a discussion about it there if for future reference in playing the game.
Right.
So right now, the way I read that is we can't fill those conditions because of the fact that there is no longer... After the quest phase ends, which this has, there is nobody left committed to the quest.
Right. So now we have to do the second card. Hey, look.
Well, that one I can't argue with.
Yeah, right? Me neither. Okay.
Do you have a way of cancelling that? No, you don't.
Nope. Okay. So that's fine. Good old Necromancer's Reach. Okay. So that goes bye-bye now. Okay.
Oh, now we can reduce our threat. Good to know.
Now we can reduce our threat. Okay. Let's see. So we have a forest spider, we have the black forest bats, we have a ravenous spider, and we have the Mirkwood patrol. So I suggest we leave the Mirkwood patrol.
Agreed.
And then we just take... We split the ravenous... Can you deal with the ravenous spider, and I'll deal with the black forest bat? Okay, so I'll engage that.
And okay. Because of the fact that I've engaged it, it makes an immediate attack against me. I will defend with Grim Beyond the Old, who will ready from Armadestra and take no damage from that attack.
Right. That's good. Okay. I'm also going to... sorry. I'm going to exhaust Galadriel and reduce my threat by 1 and draw a card.
Okay.
And so I get the Elven King, which is a nice card to have. I can't play any of my cards in my hand because I don't have any.
Well, you can. You can play Unseen Strike if I am quieter than Sight, sorry.
Yeah, quicker than Strike. I can, or quicker than Strike, yeah, because, but I don't have any, right, but I don't have any, like, I can't use Thranduil's ability. So,
okay. So how you defend?
Let's see. Each player must choose one character, remove the character from the quest. So, okay, so I will Thranduil, the forest spider. See what that, so no, oh, there goes the other necromancer's reach. Oh, there's 3 of them, right? Isn't there 3 of them in the deck? Okay, and then I'm going to take the black forest bats undefended.
No shadow effect.
No shadow effect. So Galadriel will, actually, yeah, Celeborn will take that. Damn it. I'm sorry, Thranduil will take that damage, if I can say everybody's name right. Okay. And if this is a nasty shadow, I can cancel it as well.
Grimbeorn will defend. No shadow effect, no damage.
Okay.
And then for attacking, how are you dealing?
Well, I would really love to be able to get rid of this spider. So I can get rid of my spider.
Okay.
With this, and then draw a card. Can you attack and do anything with?
Well, I can certainly attack and do some damage.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite kill, it does 7. And
perfect.
So you're down to 4 health. He's used up 4 of his hit points. Got 1 left.
Right. That's all you need. Okay. Because I've just drew a Galadon Archer.
Oh, good.
Okay, you ready? Control N. Okay. Oh, Nath Guide. So this is good. Okay, so I'm going to bring the Elven King out, and I think for this quest I may need 2 blockers, so I'm going to put the Elven King onto Thranduil. And then I'm going to bring out a Nath Guide. And then I'm going to target Celeborn with the Nath Guide.
Okay, I'm done.
What did you do? Anything?
Just put the Dunedain mark on Grimbeorn.
Okay, so Grimbeorn is even more beastly.
Yep.
Okie doke. So now let's quest. So there's 5, 6.
I'm sending 5 with Haldan.
You're going to use Haldan?
Yeah, but he doesn't exhaust because we're at a location.
That's right. Okay, so I'm questing for 6 right now. And then if I need to, I can use Galadriel. But we can always, like, we don't have to make progress on the quest. We just want to...
Did we explore a location last round? Or is this the first location?
This is the first one because we just uncovered the guarded. Right, and so then it went back in the staging area and then we traveled, so... Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just making sure, because I'm just making sure that we've done it right for this Twilight Halls.
Right, we need to make sure. I've been keeping my eye on Twilight Hall because of that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I did 6 and you're doing 5, so that's 11.
Card number 1.
Okay, it's Forest Gate.
Card number 2, another Forest Spider.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's 2, 4, 6, 10.
We make 1 progress.
Let's commit Galadriel.
So
not commit her, but let's, you know what I mean.
So that clears the location and we discard 1 card.
What's that?
Well, we've cleared that location and we would put 1 point onto...
oh, right. You're right.
We'll do the orc, so we instead discard a card, which is Doom 1.
Yeah, but that's just discarded.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we put a progress on the Twilight Hall. And now if we want to, we can travel to the Twilight Hall.
I think we're going to have to for that 4th threat.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to draw a couple of cards, but... So, get rid of that. Take it over to the Twilight Hall. Okay.
And now we raise our threat by 1.
Because...
Twilight Hall travel effect.
Right. Yep. Okay, so I have 40 threat. I'm at 40 threat here.
And because we quested successfully, I will remember to trigger Hiagon's ability now. and I will drop in a Bjorn Guardian.
Okay, so there's a Bjorn Guardian.
Right, engagements.
Okay, so I can get rid of this spider for you, and then if you want to take the forest spider, that's great. Like I can get rid of the one that's.
We've got this Mirkwood patrol. These are both coming down.
Well, why don't you take? Okay, you take the Mirkwood patrol. Optionally, and I'll take the forest spider. And then
hang on. If I optional, well, I could do this.
Because I'm gonna get rid of the ravenous spider.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I've got both of those enemies coming in, and I don't have to raise my threat for engaging them.
No. Only if you get damaged by an orc and you don't have. I guess the Mirkwood patrol is an orc, but okay. And I get a shadow card too. Okay, now as an action, Thranduil's action, I'm going to pay 2 to bring in the Galadon Archer and do 1 damage to the Ravenous Spider.
Thank you.
Right. The beauty about the Galadon Archer is it does 1 damage anywhere else but engaged with you. So it's great. It could be the staging area, it could be engaged with you. So it's nice.
So this is how I'm going to work this one.
Go ahead.
I'm going to defend the forest spider with Bjorn Guardian and Grimbeorn the Old.
Grimbeorn,
and
right.
I'm going to ready him with Armored Destria.
Got it.
Getting rid of the shadow effect of this patrol.
Right. And I can cancel a shadow effect too if I need to.
Attacking enemy gets +1, so that's 4 against 4, no damage.
Okay, so I don't need to cancel that shadow effect.
Now the only question is, do I kill out this?
Well, let me defend my bats here.
No, what I'm thinking is for Grimbeorn's ability. I've still got 1 defense against the Mirkwood patrol. I'm just debating whether I want to put the more damage on the patrol or just kill out the spider outright. I think I'll kill the spider outright. 1 less body to worry about. And then I'll defend with Grimbeorn the Old, who will take a damage from the Mirkwood patrol, and I will discard my copy of Legolas.
Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to use Thranduil to defend the bats.
No shadow effect.
No shadow effect. Okay. And then
for attacks, I've got 3.
Here, I'll use Legolas to kill the bats, and then we can I can toss over to you 5.
13. That's 18 against 9.
I think we won. Okay, so I got another Sylvan tracker, which is what I'm going to need here soon enough. Okay. The Bear Hilltop. Okay. So now we'll do next round here. So that makes me first player. That's fine. Okay. Threat reduction would be nice. For
a bow of you.
Thank you for Legolas's bow of you. Okay.
I'm done.
It's the bow of you. It's not the bow of me. It's the bow of you. Okay. Anyways. So now I can't bring anybody into play. So I'm done.
So questing.
Okay, so questing. I'm going to quest for 1, 2, 5.
You want to send Haldan?
And we'll send Haldan. He stays up, so that's 7.
So that's a total of 10.
10 against 2. We should be pretty good here. So that's 4. Hey, it's your buddy, 6. So we put.
Yay!
So we put 4 more progress on the current location, and just to get rid of it, I'm going to use Galadriel. Where'd this guy come from?
Those are the cards that would be discarded from Search for a Way Out.
Well, I thought it was only one.
No, we just needed 2 progress to make on Abandoned Village. Gladriel gives 4.
Okay. I lost count then. Okay. Now, let's see what we can do here. I think we should travel to one of the objective locations.
Yeah, we don't have one in the discard, so...
And then, let's see here. The Bear Hilltop is shuffle, and then each player adds the top card to the encounter deck, add each location discarded this way, and then we advance to the next A. And then this one is the same thing, except it's enemy, and it's advanced to C. So what do you like, A or C?
Preferably C at this point in time because, well, actually,
why not? It doesn't matter, right?
Let's flip a coin.
And
Heads Abandoned Village, tails,
oh, jeez. While you're flipping the coin, I'll say that this is why I like this quest, is because you're making progress through, but you know, you still can choose A's and C's, and like, so the quest itself has a really interesting dynamic. I just really enjoy doing this quest. I think it's amazing.
It's got a lot of more replayability because of that fact.
Yeah, you can. There's like 8 different ways you can go through the quests. So it just.
Right, well, I've just flipped the coin.
Okay.
On OCTGN, and it's flipped for heads. So we are going to the Abandoned Village.
Okay, let's go to the Abandoned Village. So now, let's make sure we do this in order. So travel, shuffle the discard pile back into the encounter deck.
Which is done.
Okay, and then it says each player discards the top card of the encounter. You can discard for me, and then add any location. No, add each enemy discarded this way. So we have the Dol Guldur Beastmaster, and that's another thing that I like about this scenario is that we're seeing enemies from a long, long time ago that are now new and fresh, and I like it because. I was saying this on Facebook, is that it gives me kind of a mental break. Like, I know how the Dol Guldur Beastmaster works, and I know how the Chieftain Uftak works. So I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not busy trying to look up how everything works and how everything goes and things like that. I feel like it's something that is just a lot of fun to play and gives me a little bit of a break.
Right, okay, quick question on timings here. Obviously, we've just to travel to the Abandoned Village.
Mm-hmm.
We've already quested successfully, so with that, I would pay 1 to pull out my Beyonding Skin Changer.
Okay.
Before the effects of traveling to Abandoned Village and Truly Lost come into play.
What does Truly Lost say?
Each player a card from the top of the encounter deck until he discards a non-objective location and adds it to the staging area. So each player places his hand of cards face down under a different location in the staging area.
Okay, so now a location. I didn't get this one when I was playing. Now, so now we need a location. So who's first player? I'm first player. So discard cards until I get a location. Not yet, right? There's one. So, a Cursed Forest. And now it doesn't say that I have to put my cards under that one. It just says a location.
Yep, and then I'll discard until I get my location. Upwards. Right, okay, so I'm going to put my cards under this forest gate here.
Okay, and I have to pick a different one. Okay, and so I'll put it under the dark black woods.
Okay. So engagements.
So here.
I've got to flip that over. Each location gets +1 quest point for each their card face down under it. Right, okay, that's basic.
There.
Okay, so engagements, who do you want?
I don't really care.
Because I can only optionally engage one.
Well, there's only 2 out there, so.
I would have taken them both if I had the chance because I'm greedy that way.
Okay, so. And I can't cancel a shadow effect, so I'm stuck here.
Okay, so you're defending first.
So I'm going to, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I will defend with Thranduil. No shadow effect.
No shadow effect.
No shadow effect. So I defend successfully.
Do you want to use Elven King to return Galleon to your hand?
Yeah, in a minute. I'll let you defend, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, well, I'll defend with Grimby on the old. Yeah! No shadow effect, no damage. You get the resources now for 5 attack. I'm not going to spend his 1 resource to attack back because there's just no need at this point because I've got enough on the board just to clobber him.
Okay, and now I exhausted Elven King to bring Galleon back as your suggestion, and so I'm going to do 4, 6 to the Beastmaster. So it dies. I'll toss 3 or 2 over to you for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Okay, so that's 2 plus 3. There's 5 plus the bear is 9 plus.
Oh, come on. Get on 13, with it. 14, right.
17 death.
Did you count my 2?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
Look, I'm greedy, okay? I like to hold damage.
I know. Okay. Let's get on with it. Okay. Oh, I just got Rumel, so that's a good sign. Why? Why are you laughing like that? Okay.
I just got to do that giant bear.
Oh, good. And so if you notice that Truly Lost, each location gets +1 quest point for each face down card under it.
Yeah.
How many cards did you have?
2.
2, and I had 5. So anyways.
Okay,
I'm going to play Lorien. I'm going to put that down. Okay, and I'll pay for that out of Celeborn's pool, and then I'll put Galleon into play. So that's 2. Okay.
Okay, questing.
Questing. So that's 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, sorry. And then Haldan. Oh, well, I have 6 on my side. You have Haldan on your side, so.
I've got 2, 4, 5, 6.
6. So that's 12.
Yeah.
Plus I can use Galadriel, but I want to use her to start lowering threat across the board. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So card number 1.
What is that? Okay, Dark Black Woods. Okay, that sounds familiar. Okay, so that's...
3, 6, 9, 13, 14, 15, 17.
17. So I'm going to have to use her, and we still didn't quest successfully.
How much?
Well, you had 6, I had 6, and she did 4, so that's up to 12.
3. So raise with rep by 3.
By 1. You said there's 17, and we did 16. 12 plus 4 is 16. So raise your threat by 1. Okay, so now we're starting to get location locked. This sucks.
Yeah, because there's no combat.
No combat anywhere. Okay. Guess we go.
Well, in the combat well, there's no point in just pulling the bear out. It's more beneficial for us to have the skin shader out at the minute.
Right. Okay.
As long as that makes sense.
Right. Okay, so I just got Nenya, which doesn't really matter, but okay, so we need to quest really hard this time.
Let's take out stand for Ered.
Yeah, we can't even make progress on the current quest, let alone on a side quest. But, anyways,
I'll send 4.
Okay, so I'll send 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Haldan for 9. I'll send 9.
Would you brought Galleon back with the Elven King?
I forgot to this time. I mean, we could say we did it because it didn't change anything about the board state. So okay, so that's 11, I think. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11 for Haldan. Okay, and how much did you do?
4.
11 and 4. You don't want to quest with who do you have to quest with? You got nothing to quest. Okay. Okay, well that's
this deck isn't a questing deck. This deck is a beat them down deck.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, card number 1. Necromancer's Roof.
Deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. So that's 1, 2. So let's see that. So that removes 2 from the questing total on my side.
And card number 2
is a Beastmaster.
Against 2, 5, 8, 11, 15.
Okay, what's up?
17,
yeah.
19.
19. And I'll do that. 4, 8, 9. 11, 13, 15, 16, 17, and in the staging area is 19.
That's 2 for that.
Actually, it's is it because it was 17 last time, so it's 19 now. Okay, I'm gonna bring Rumil out. Can I engage this guy?
I was going to engage him, but if you want him, you can.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and bring him down on my side. Okay. Deal him a shadow card. I'll use Galleon. I'll ready Galleon. Or, sorry, I will ready Thranduil. I will bring out Rumil for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That helps us with questing at least. Okay, and then I'll defend with Thranduil.
Well, I can defend with Grimbion if you want.
Sure, that's fine. Oh, Rumil does 4 damage to the Beastmaster, just automatically. Go ahead.
Well, Grimbion defends.
Attacking enemy gets +1.
+2 because I've got an attachment. So that's 5. And the other one's nothing. So if you want to use your quick of insight, you can.
I can't because it's underneath that. It's underneath that thing.
So I take 1 point of damage, and then I will spend a resource and hit him with Grimbion for 4 more damage.
Okay. Okay, we have to do something real quick here. Right?
Yeah, if I can get... Nope, I don't have a Gandalf.
You didn't have what?
I didn't draw the Gandalf that I needed to do some questing.
Okay, so here's this. I'm going to target Celeborn with the Nath Guide here. Okay, so we really... How much is out in the staging area? 2, 4, 8, 11. 3 is 14. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24 in the staging area. We probably already should have threaded out. Right?
No, there's only 17 in the staging area.
Are you counting the +1 for each face down card underneath it? So Dark Black Woods gets +1.
West Point, not right.
Oh, okay. Whew. I thought we screwed it up. Okay, 17. Okay. You ready to do this?
You ready to die this turn? Yeah, I'm ready to die this turn.
We can do this. Okay. So 1, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11. I'm doing 11 right now.
6.
11 and 6 is 17. Look at us. Okay, go ahead.
That's the game.
That is the game. Swarms of bats. I have to raise my threat by 15.
I have to raise my threat by 11.
11.
So that puts me at 58 threat.
Right. I couldn't get any of my threat reduction.
Where was your threat reduction?
What was it, or where was it?
Where was it?
I have no idea. Let's see.
I'm just looking at me deck. Right, in 2 turns, I would have had a sneak attack Gandalf. And then my next willpower boost would have been Yarzon at 4 cards in. And then after that, it would have been Grimballs, and they're like 4 cards after that.
I wouldn't have gotten anything for a while.
Erastor halfway down the deck, and Bjorn in the bottom 6 cards.
It's hard for me to say because I would have gotten like the Galadriel Minstrel, and I would have shuffled up my hand and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And so in 3 turns I would have gotten the Minstrel, but that wouldn't have helped. So the question then becomes, do we post the losing as a playthrough?
I don't see why not, because it was a good game.
It was a good game.
Even though we lost, it was still a good game. So these decks aren't infallible. They can lose. So I don't see why not. I think we should do another game of this using these decks at some point and persevere to see if we can beat it with these 2 decks.
Right. I agree. I don't think that there's a problem posting losses. But I do like the mechanics in this quest.
Oh, definitely. But what I think I'm going to need to do for the next game, other than possibly adding a few more willpower allies in, is maybe add Faramir from the sideboard into me deck.
That could be good.
I don't usually run them because Kate usually runs them in her dwarf deck.
Right. Maybe the key is then on stage 1 or stage 2 to try to explore all the locations before we go to one of the guarded locations or one of the objective locations. That way we don't get landlocked.
I think the Death of War was traveling to this abandoned village. It's fair enough going through, say, ambushed at night and then going onto the doggy door. Oh, we were pretty fine with that.
Right.
We're held up all right. The problem came when we just travelled to the abandoned village and then we got location locked.
Right.
The enemy side of things we seem to do all right on.
Right.
I mean, my board's pretty scary on damage.
Yeah, and I was I had both my Sylvan trackers ready to go, and then they got shoved underneath this thing.
But those Sylvan trackers don't help my allies.
So when we get truly lost, just remember that stage 3, we don't want to go to 3C. We want to go to 3A or whatever it is.
Well, let's have a look. What is the difference between the 2 3s that we get? Looking at cards.
Put it out so I can highlight it on the... Okay, so that's right, 3. So
each player chooses a hero he controls and discards each token and attachment from that hero.
So one of our heroes gets... Area. So it's when Thorin... It's like when Thorin gets carried off.
Each player discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded and attaches that enemy to the hero he owns in the staging area guarding it. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, and then...
That one definitely seems like it's the semi-least threatening.
Right, that's the one that I got when I played last time, so it was a little easier to deal with.
Yeah, but you're only revealing 1 card per turn in a solo player game. In a 2 to 3 player game, it increases the difficulty because you've got more cards coming off the encounter deck.
Right.
I just wish I had some healing, like Sylvan the Warden of Healing or something available.
Right.
Just to strip off some of this damage, because the earlier encounter decks are heavy on those damage points.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Likes of the Necromancer's Reef. That swarm of bats is nasty for the fact that they're starting resources.
Right. What was the one card we had a thing about? The remove somebody from the quest.
There it is. Unseen damage.
Unseen danger. Let's see. Each enemy removes a character he controls from the quest and discards the top card of the encounter deck. Okay. I'll ask about that on the forums. And if you're interested in finding this or any of our back episodes of Card Talk, feel free to search YouTube where you can find our flagship video episodes with the username Card Talk 2018. Or you can search the RSS feed, cardtalk2018.libsyn.org, for our extended audio versions of our podcast. Or you can find us on Facebook at Card Talk 2018. And if you have any questions for Grant or myself or for both of us, feel free to email us at cardtalk2018@gmail.com.